so much for joining us with Divine the Conscious Nightlife. Thank you guys, and I'm gonna get into this last piece, all right? But you're gonna have to excuse me because I'm having a little bit of breathing trouble. You see, my soul is all tied up. This poisonous lust masquerading as love has got me all choked up. So much so that the tears streaming down my mascara-stained cheeks don't even mean anything anymore. I used to be sure I could save you. With every single solitary breath in my body, I knew that your love was my air, and I'd swear that I could inhale peace and exhale pain in your presence. But it was imprisoned within the future tense, for in actuality I was presently suffocating, suffering from an emotionally induced asthma attack brought along by an allergic reaction to your heart that, oops, accidentally broke mine and left me gasping for breath and struggling to reclaim life to my lungs without the almighty inhaler. You know, the one who created the heavens and the earth and the moon and the stars in 7 days. You remember that day I dragged you along to Bible study and you had the audacity to liken yourself unto him, and then you likened ourselves unto them, and you called me your rib. Fashioned from the very fibers of your being, created from the very cells of your soul, the way God did. Adam and Eve were their names, right? It's crazy, right? How I can forget the very lessons I learned in Sunday school and children's church the moment you step right into my life. And I'm left, suffering from a loss of oxygen to the brain cells, clouding my judgment and forcing me to forsake reality for cloud nine. You see, consistently I daydreamed that everything was fine. At age 9, I was writing your name next to mine. Inside hearts. Inside the inside margins of the pages of my notebooks. Inside classrooms where I was supposed to be rehearsing my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and yet phonetically and numerically, I have made you to be my everything. At age 13, I was writing your last name after my first. Inside hearts, inside the inside margins of the pages of my notebooks, inside classrooms where I was supposed to be rehearsing Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally in the preamble to the Constitution, but you were my Declaration of Freedom. At age 16, I was writing the names of each and every one of the contiguous United States where it was legal for us to be husband and wife. Inside my heart, inside the inside margins of the pages of my notebooks, inside classrooms where I was supposed to be rehearsing literary techniques and trigonometry formulas. I had it bad. I had myself convinced that if you were the negative sine squared of x and I was the positive cosine squared of x, then together you and I would equal 1. Yes, I know it's kind of nerdy. And I know some may say it was just a childhood crush, but no. This lust was serious. This love was lethal, and I had never even felt your touch. And yet, my soul was on life support, yearning for the resuscitation of a friend who would be willing to be more than a friend, who could rescue me from pain inflicted by my friends who swore I would always remain just the friend, the boy, the girl next door, the goody two-shoes and the teacher's pet. Little did they know I endeavored to be your triple threat, the girl you bring home to mom, the lady in the streets, and the freak in the ivory Egyptian Pima cotton 900 thread counts. On the romantic first night of our honeymoon, wrapped up and enraptured in sweet marital bliss. Beep! Beep! Someone call a crash car, cause this lust has me entangled in the noose that's called what if. Will someone please tell me what business did the 16-year-old have planning out the sheets upon which she will sleep on for her wedding night? Something's just not right about that. But sadly, this story isn't poetic license, it is fact. See, I grew up in a home where it was never stated but implied, never said but understood that sex outside of a white dress and a wedding ring would bring nothing more than an end to all that is good. So, being the good little little Christian girl that I was. I feared for the detriment of my pristine image that fornication could potentially bring, and I got caught up singing love songs in my sleep to the one that was supposed to wake me from my dreams. Like riding without a seatbelt, I forsook pinky swears to wait and promise ring ceremonies as my go-to answer. See, pretending to be married to you was my haphazard solution to supposedly stay on the straight and narrow. But it violently turned and veered off course into a nightmare. Got me ridiculously quoting Instagram memes like, if the only place I can have you is in my dreams, then I'll sleep forever. I made myself believe that you and we were destined by God himself to be together. So much so that I couldn't even see my own destiny without you lying there next to me. And so there I lied, and there I lied, and there I lied to myself that the truth became a foreign currency I couldn't even afford, and I was left standing on the shores, speaking the language of an idealistic dreamer without an interpreter, watching you sail away, leaving me with both pockets empty from the love that you promised you would come and deposit and fill me with. And you were right. I'm not ready for a relationship. You whispered to me after you had said all the right things, after you had finished making love to my mind that had already made you mine. But you were never mine to begin with. And still, I ended up with my heart split into 1/4 for me and 3/4 for you. You see, these soul ties had me trying to keep it all together. These soul ties had me feeling light as a feather. These soul ties had me trying to make you my forever, thinking that we could make it through the sun or stormy weather. See, the enemy will use whoever and whatever, wherever and whenever to do whatsoever he pleases to keep you bound. However, although these soul ties had me, I have been found. Currently, presently, right here and right now, I'm breaking free from proudly rocking the tee that said someday my prince will come, to donning the crown of the king that fashioned me for his glory in the first place, removing the guilt and shame from my face and putting joy in its present space. No longer bound and imprisoned by the potential pleasures of my fantasies, I've been rescued and released from captivity, set free to step forward in reality and even embrace my virginity in its totality, no longer precursored by the phrase technically. Because technically, I made the mistake of loving you more than I loved God. And you made me believe that I had to, simply because you said that if I loved you, I would ... Technically, I thought thoughts that had me bound by the facade of what could be, and technically the only reason I gave you my all was because I thought you were my only option. But today, I'm living like Baskin and Robbins.